For the Phillies, this season has been a disappointment despite the presence of a core group of players from their glory days of recent years. While the Phillies continue to struggle, the Giants have rebounded on an East Coast swing, and with 2 straight wins, the Orange and Black remain a half a game back in the West. Final game of the series, Giants-Phillies, next.
Picture perfect day here in Philadelphia as we get ready for Giants baseball. This game will wrap up this 3-game series, Giants and Phillies. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me, as always, is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants have won the first 2 games in this series. They'll go for the sweep today, and they've got a very, very confident pitcher on the mound today in Ryan Vogelsong.
Well, they do, and he's confident with the fastball. And when he walks out there on that mound, the Giants think it's wind day, and I think that's very important for any pitcher. And I think the other thing, too, today that we want to see continue is the money hitting that the Giants have done. Yesterday, they put 6 runs on the board before the Phillies scored, and it proved to be the difference in the ball game. And scoring early and coming up with that big hit and runners in scoring position, this is something they're doing well on this road trip, and we hope that it continues today.
And a couple of big flies would be fun as well. All right, when we come back, we will have the lineups and the very first pitch of this game from Citizens Bank Park right after this.
Philadelphia is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the new black pepper cheeseburger today, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-time automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
The twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
All right, we have baseball here in Philadelphia as this game will wrap up this three-game series. Giants winning the first two. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. Very, very nice 75 degrees here at the yard. You see the winds at 11 miles per hour. Humidity fairly low. And it is partly cloudy. Here's the lineup for Bruce Bochy. Giants come in with a record of 32-25. See what Nori Aoki's done on the road this season. Best in the major leagues. And he had a great day yesterday. It'll be Panicked and Pagan. Posey, the cleanup hitter. Bell, Crawford, and Duffy. Blanco is hitting eighth. Still no Hunter Pence. And Vogelsong will hit ninth.
On the hill today for the Philadelphia Phillies will be Sean O'Sullivan, the right-hander. Big fella, 6'1", 260-pounder. In his eighth start, 1-4 with a 5.03 ERA. Strike thrower, 9 walks at 39 1/3. 19 strikeouts. You're going to see a low 90s fastball. He will sink and he will cut it. Big curveball. He's got a slider and a split. And the split really is his best strikeout pitch, especially the lefties. Lifetime against the Giants, O'Sullivan is 1-1 with a 2.25 ERA. He's pitched well against San Francisco. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind O'Sullivan for the Phillies today. Starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Ashe, Herrera, and Revere. Best arm in left field. Galvis and Franco on the left side of the infield. Utley and Howard on the right side. And Cameron Rupp, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Nori Aoki to lead things off. He only went 3 for 3 yesterday with a walk, and he was hit by a pitch, so he was on base 5 times. Hunter Pence may be available to pinch hit, and they're hoping Tuesday will be the day for him to get back in the lineup. This was rough for him not to play in this city where he spent some time as a Philly. It is rough for him not to play no matter where you're playing.
Yeah, he
could
does
be
not
a pickup game in December.
Yeah, he just doesn't handle the DL at all.
So here's the first pitch of the ball game, and we are underway. And the first pitch. So 1:39, so 4 minutes late. And Aoki flips it to left. And this game gets started with a fly ball to left. Wegner, Foster, Barber, and Winters. Mark Wegner, the home plate umpire.
And Wegner, I mean, he's kind of a rule book zone. He will call low strikes. He will call some belts. I mean, you'll see some high strikes today. You don't see a lot of width on either side of the plate, so it's kind of a tight strike zone. And if you were to say, is he a low ball or a high ball guy? I think he's a high ball guy.
Here's Panic, 3 for 9 in the series. with Angel Pagan on deck. And a called strike at 89. Giants scored 5 runs on Friday and won. They scored 7 runs yesterday and won, as this has lifted the left. Going back is Ashe, and now on the track he's going to put it away.
Well, that should give you an idea as to how live it is here at this ballpark today, especially the left field. There's lots of carry. I'm not sure how well Joe Panik hit that ball, but I don't think he was thinking it was going to get halfway into the warning track when it left the bat. And that's where it wound up.
So here's Pagan. Pagan is 2 for 10 in the series, hitting at .292. Pagan has managed to squeak out a hit in both games of this series. The Giants with 12 hits in both games in this series. So they've done a good job of at least putting themselves in position to score some runs.
Very compact, high 3/4 release from O'Sullivan.
Fouled into the glove of Rupp. It's 1-2.
You look at O'Sullivan, he kind of reminds a little bit of Joe Blanton, the way that he throws. Very compact, stocky, but an easy stroke to repeat. You can see why he has good command.
And that pitch is high, so it's 2-2.
Let's take a look at that motion. Very upright, compact, in balance, and now very high 3/4 release, which will give him a very acute drop on his split and his curveball, which he has.
Another fly ball to left. So 3 fly balls to left. And that's going to end the inning, and it's a 9-pitch inning for O'Sullivan. Phillies are coming up. Vogelsong coming up. The Phillies lineup. Phillies come in with a record of 21-36. It'll be Ben Revere, who's been hot. He will lead it off, followed by Herrera, Utley, and then Howard. Michael Franco, who's been hot as well, it's hitting 5th. And it's Ashe, Galvis, and Cameron Rupp. And Sean O'Sullivan will pitch, and he'll hit 9th.
On the hill today for the Giants will be Ryan Vogelsong, 6'4", 215-pounder. He'll 37 years old in his 9th year at the big league level. This is what he has done in 9 starts, 4-3 with a 4.26 ERA. He has knocked 2 points off his ERA. It is into a respectable 4.26 right now. 43 strikeouts in 57 innings. You're going to see a low 90s fastball that he will 2-in 4-seam, and he will pound all 4 corners of the strike zone with. He'll follow it up with a changeup. He'll cut the ball, give you a curveball and a slider. Lifetime against the Phillies in 3 starts, he's 1-0 with a 3.86 ERA.
So here's Ben Revere. 2 for 7 in the series for Ben Revere. And he takes a strike. He's hitting at 270. He's got 16 runs batted in. With Herrera, Odubel Herrera on deck, and then Chase Utley. Swinging and a miss, 0-2. Vogelsong 1-0 lifetime. Got him.
Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Vogelsong today, starting in the Giants outfield from left to right. Hunter Pence getting a day off. The outfield will consist of Aoki, Pagan, and Blanco. Crawford and Duffy on the left side of the infield, Panic and Bell on the right side. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Here's Herrera. Giants saw Herrera as a pinch hitter on Friday, and he went 0 for 1, and this is bounced to Panic on one pitch, and Herrera's gone, and that'll bring up Utley. You love those one pitch outs, don't you?
Well, they're such a gift. They absolutely are, and you only get those when you're in the attack mode, when you're putting the pressure on that hitter and getting in that strike zone.
There's the winning pitcher yesterday who had really terrific stuff. It's almost shocking to look at his line score, but he was good.
No, 11 strikeouts, no walks. 5 earned runs denies him a quality start, but as we witnessed, it was beyond quality. It was stellar. Tim Hudson, Tim Lincecum watching today. It's definitely a sunglasses day.
The brothers Tim?
The brothers Tim.
Utley takes low. Utley's had 5 hits and 9 at bats lifetime against Ryan Vogelsong. He went 0 for 3 in the game Friday. Did not start yesterday, but drew a walk as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning yesterday. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Phillies have lost 3 in a row, and they're 2 games under 500 at home. And the 2-0 pitch, and it's popped up. It'll be Crawford, and that'll end the inning. So Vogelsong with a 7-pitch first inning. 0-0.
Madison Bumgarner became the first pitcher in the modern era since 1900 to pitch at least 8 innings, issue 0 walks, strike out 10 or more, allow a grand slam, have 2 tacos for lunch, have beef for dinner, and get the win. And that's our McDonald's true story.
Here's Buster Posey.
The stats they keep these days.
And you know what? The best stuff he's had all year was yesterday. Buster hitting .287 with 9 home runs, 30 driven in. Hit a home run to win the game on Friday night and went 1 for 5 in the game yesterday. Here he smokes this one on the ground to Galvis.
Oh, 11 strikeout day for Madison Bumgarner. Let's take a look at how he was doing it. He had one of the better curveballs he had all year, and there's the curveball right there. You saw the slide of the previous pitch. Again, the breaking ball. Here he goes inside corner with a cut fastball. Then he just a flat-out country hardball challenge on a 3-2 count. And that's how he did it. He used all of his pitches. All of them were swing and miss pitches yesterday. And the result was 11 strikeout day.
So here's Belt. The overshift is on with Belt. The Phillies, the way they work this, they put the third baseman to the right of second base, and they leave the shortstop on the left side of the infield. And we see some teams do it, some teams don't.
I think it makes more sense to do it this way.
We might get an argument from Ron Wotus. He usually likes to argue about stuff like that. I know I would. He would argue with me. Probably tell me 9 different ways why I'm wrong. 2-1 to Belt, who's hitting at .295.
One thing we've noticed in this ballpark, this infield's very true. You don't see many bad hops at all. It's a good infield.
It's a good infield. Very good dirt.
We've gotten to the point back in AT&T Park where we kind of expect some bad hops now.
Yeah, you almost have to keep that wet all the time. 3 balls and 1 strike. Belt hits one high down the left field line. That's going to curl into the seats.
You know, one thing you never hear, though, the really great infielders, they never complain about infield, ever. They just don't. It's like pitchers don't ever complain about a small ballpark. A great pitcher doesn't. Just go out and get people out.
Three and 2 to Belt with 1 out. Belt into center field over Galvis for a base hit.
Well, there's no better way to kick off your summer than going to a Giants game at AT&T Park. Interleague play is back as the Giants will take on the Seattle Mariners June 15th and 16th. And you can get $10 off all the tickets to the day game on Tuesday the 16th. So start your summer with the Giants Mariners. Go to sfgiants.com/tickets and use the coupon code SUMMER to get $10 off.
You know how many hits that is for Belt in this series?
How many?
1.
Hey, it starts with 1.
And I looked at that and I was a little surprised. Here's Crawford hitting .292, 8 home runs, 38 driven in. Crawford 2 for 8 in the series. And he takes a strike on the outside corner.
But I think the bad hops in the Giants infield back at AT&T cost them a ball game in the Braves series. The bad hop that came up on Crawford, which could have been a double play ball that would have ended the ball game, went on to a big inning. Giants lose that game. It's something we see a lot of from our vantage point up in the booth.
Pitches down low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
The grass problem the Giants had back at their ballpark is pretty much resolved. It's plush now. It was a little thin at the start of the year. That's not the problem. It's the dirt. But you really see a difference when you see a true infield like this one.
1 ball and 1 strike. Outside to Crawford, 2-1. Duffy on deck. First base runner in the game. The hit by Belt. Crawford wraps one into the gap into right center field. Belt is on the move. And they're going to hold Belt as Crawford goes into second base, second and third with one out.
High fastball from O'Sullivan right across the letters. And that flat swing of Brandon Crawford just pulls it right in the pull side gap. Now for a second it might have a chance to get by Herrera, the center fielder, but I think he did a nice play to cut it off and save the run. But Crawford set it up for Duffy.
Here's Duffy hitting .281. Missed the home run by a couple of feet. Yesterday did hit an opposite field home run on Friday night. Duffy's got 4 hits in the series. And they're going to run that pitch inside 1-0. I'm not surprised at all that after watching Duffy go opposite field and then almost again that they don't start pitching him inside. And a breaking ball for a strike to even the count. See what he does with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that's the kind of reputation you want to get.
Up the middle. It's going to knock in a run. Duffy is thrown out. The Giants are on the board. And Crawford moves to third. So RBI number 25 for Matt Duffy.
You know, that's kind of a weird at bat because you're upset you didn't do more with it. I mean, you did get an RBI, and when he gets back to the Giants dugout, he's going to get patted on the back and high five, and they're going to tell him good at bat. But it's one you feel like you should have done more with.
Yeah, you don't really like a jam shot out, but the point is you didn't pop up or strike out.
Yeah, you got to run in.
Blanco now with Crawford at third. And he takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. Down low, so I don't think they're going to give Blanco anything to hit. Blanco played left field and went 1 for 5 on Friday. Right field yesterday and went 1 for 4.
Well, you're right. They're just going to put him on.
So that'll bring up Vogelsong, who's doesn't have an RBI this year, but he has shown that he is swinging the bat much better than in years past. Not in years past when he was younger, when he could really hit. But he's been better this year.
He's been a real threat on fastballs, and that's for sure. When he first came up, we thought this guy was going to be a real good hitting pitcher. Had power. Of course, every time he took a swing, it was like he was trying to hit it into the parking lot. It was back in the day. He's taken a little swing out as he's matured. I think age has a way of doing that to you.
And a little tardy, no balls and 1 strike. A Belt single, a Crawford double, and a Duffy ground ball. 1-0 Giants. Vogelsong hits the breaking ball foul.
saw the SLB on the chest of the Phillies players in memory of Sarah L. Buck, one of the Phillies owners that passed away earlier this year. They will honor her all year by wearing that patch.
Oh, 2 to Vogelsong. Blanco goes, and it's low and away. So Blanco with a stolen base, his 4th.
Well, Vogelsong can hurt him right here. Great arm in left, average arm in center, none arm in right.
And a little pop-up to Howard, and that's going to end the inning. Howard's going to lead things off. Giants are on the board. It's 1-0 San Francisco.
Net Bay Area is brought to you by Bay Area Mini.
Sunday, the 14th of June, is the second annual Gamer Day at the ballpark, presented by Half Moon Bay Brewing Company. My partner will host a Q&A panel with a bunch of guests that'll light it up. Your special ticket, and the package includes a ticket to the game, the Baseball Insiders Q&A, and a gamer driver cap. sfgiants.com/special events. Here's Howard. Has to put the overshift on for Howard, hitting .239. And the first pitch is down low. He hit his 11th home run over 430 feet in the game on Friday night. Underneath his hands, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Just not picking up that cut fastball at all. You see that if you're Ryan Vogelsong, you're saying, I need to throw that one again.
Down the right field line, foul. This was the home run I'm talking about on Friday. Into right center field and went a long way.
A high off-speed pitch, mid-thigh over the plate. And I don't think he got it all, just to give you an idea how much power this guy's got. Strong.
He tried to plant that one on the inside corner and just missed. Panic in shallow right field. This has got a chance to fall, and it will. So the first hit of the game comes off the bat of Ryan Howard. Warriors NBA Finals before every game, post game, and on Sportsnet Central all the way through the playoffs. Game 2 coverage will begin today at 3 p.m. Check it out. So here's Maikel Franco. Franco hitting at .241 with 5 home runs, 15 driven in. He's shown some power in this series. First pitch is wrapped on the ground past Duffy. Aoki's going to dig it out. Second and third, nobody out. He didn't wait around, Franco. He loves that first pitch.
See ball, hit ball, run like crazy, and that is not a bad pitch. I mean, that's right where they wanted to go, above the hands, middle in. And so he just beats the scout report. Duffy, just not enough time to get in front of it.
Well, now you try to limit the damage if you can.
That's exactly right, and it's inning management. Giants will try and do that defensively and play their middle infielders back. They'll give up a run for a ground ball up the middle.
And this is foul. Loud foul by Cody Ashe. Ashe hitting .235, 2 home runs, 4 driven in. He's 2 for 2 lifetime against Vogelsong. And Ashe does not have a hit in this series. He's 0 for 8. Little flare to left, and that's going to be a hit. They're going to wave in Franco, and the Phillies take the lead.
Phillies swinging the bat like it's a fine to take a pitch. Ball down below the strike zone, again, not a hanger. Just throws a little flare out to left field. An easy score for both runners.
So here's Freddie Galvis.
Throw over to first base called by Bruce Bochy. Sometimes a pitcher will get mad, upset about a doink hit like that, cost him a couple of runs, and he'll forget about that runner at first.
This is lifted out to Aoki. So Galvis' slump continues. 1 out. And here's Cameron Rupp.
And that's when a manager will put the call into the catcher to call a throw over. They get that pitcher thinking about the runner at first base again. It's a subtle way for the pitch to just kind of get a guy's mind back in the swing of things and the things he needs to concentrate on.
Here's Cameron Rupp hitting .204 with 2 runs batted in. And the first pitch is down low.
Cameron Rupp, big fella, 6'2", 260. Got a body built to block baseballs. They say guy built like a catcher. Well, you're looking at one right there.
Runs down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitcher, Sean O'Sullivan's on deck. 2 runs in on 3 straight hits until Galvis hit the fly ball to left.
If you look at the Phillies battery today between Rupp and O'Sullivan, they look like a couple of pulling guards. They don't look like a big league pitcher and a catcher so much as they do a couple of linemen.
And now Vogelsong's a pitch away from walking Rupp.
There's O'Sullivan. Guy's cut out of the same mold.
And that's a 4-pitch walk. Here's O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan is 1 for 12, so he'll be asked to bunt here, I think.
I agree.
And he bunts it foul. As Belt coming in from first.
Pretty good speed at second base with Kobayashi. The bunt should go down the third base line. From a pitcher's perspective, throw the ball up with a fastball and throw it on the outside corner. That's the toughest one for a right-handed hitter, to bunt down the third base line. And if you can get a hard bunt down the first base line with the arm of Brandon Belt and the aggressiveness of Belt, I mean, it's possible if you get that lead out third base, you might be able to double up O'Sullivan at first.
Posey's going to take his time and throw out O'Sullivan. Good job by O'Sullivan.
And once he got that down around the third base line, the thought of getting the lead out at third base is done. Now it's just get any out you can get. So you're right. Very good job. Drops it right out there. Posey knows the only out he's going to get is at first. It's a big league sacrifice right there.
So here's Ben Revere, who's 0 for 1. He struck out looking to open up the bottom of the first. Hits a Duffy. That's going to end the inning. 2 runs on 3 hits. Phillies take the lead as we head to the third.
played the Togo's way. Yesterday it was Nori Aoki day. Bottom of the second, he did it with his arm defensively. Throws out Darren Ruff trying to take a second base for a double. See you later. Grab some pine meat. Top of the third, a 2-run single with 2 outs. He would go on to have a day where he was on base 5 times. He is our Togo's big play the Togo's way.
Moves the ball around a little bit, doesn't he?
Likes to hit the ball everywhere.
More hits to the opposite field than to center field or to right field. And he will lead things off. It'll be Aoki, Panik, and Pagan. These 3 hitters all hit fly balls to Ashe in the first. It's number 34 from O'Sullivan. Is wide 2-0. I think O'Sullivan wanted it. And why wouldn't you if you're a starting pitcher?
Want anything you can get. Everything. Especially in a small ballpark.
It's slowly on the ground to Utley. So Aoki taken care of, and here's Panik. Panik coming in, hitting at 308. And the 0-1 pitch is wrapped down the right field line. That's going to be extra bases. Depending on how Revere gets it out, Panik thought about it, and he puts on the brakes. Just for a second, it looked like he might keep on going.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're going to challenge Revere. I mean, he doesn't have a good arm. And you knew it was in the mind of Roberto Kelly. Fastball up and in, just spins on it. They had been playing towards the gap in right center and giving the line to Panik, so he hits away from the defense. And right there, I mean, he's going hard in the second, and all of a sudden, nope.
Here's Pagan. Pagan 0 for 1. As I mentioned, hit a ball out to Ashe in the first. Here he hooks one fair. Pagan's headed for 2. Panik scores. This game is tied. Howard's looking to see if that's a fair ball, and he's disputing this. And here comes Ryan Sandberg, so don't write anything down yet in ink.
Marty Foster, first base umpire, looking right at him, is right in front of him, and it just has to touch any part of the line.
No, that's foul. It's foul.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's coming back or not. I think it was fair. I think it did hit the line, just enough of it. Close. You can see the agony that Sean O'Sullivan had when he saw the fair call. I just think there was some of the line that got hit. I don't think they're going to take it away or redo it or even review it. And they're not.
Okay, I was wrong. Here's Buster Posey. Buster fouls it back. He got a hanger, and it's no balls and 1 strike. So Pagan knocks in his 13th run. And that's in the dirt. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Giants trying to retake the lead here in the 3rd. Not sure O'Sullivan looks like he's going to go after Buster Posey at all.
No, he's got an open base, but he's not really a ground ball guy. I mean, O'Sullivan's more of a fly ball strikeout pitcher. I mean, that's his style. His fastball is pretty straight. If he's going to get ground balls, it's usually with the split or the curveball.
Foul back.
Just missed that one. Time now for our Solar Company Electrifying Player of the Week. And Friday, Buster Posey hit a home run in the top of the 7th inning off Luis Garcia. And that was the difference in the game. It was a 4-4 ball game, and he took on the deep part of the yard and pumped out home run number 9. And that's our Solar Company Electrifying Play of the Week.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Hit on the ground, and Galvis is going to go to 3rd, and Pagan is out. Pagan wants the Giants to look at this. And they will. Whether they look at it on an appeal, that we don't know.
Well, I mean, guys with speed, sometimes they break the rule. And the rule is if the ball's hit in front of you, you don't try and advance if you're a runner at 3rd or a runner at 2nd.
They're going to look at it.
He's safe. They should look at it. He's got a point.
He is safe.
And I don't think he came off the base after he touched the base, but I do clearly believe that his hand beat the glove.
This replay review is presented by Xfinity. No cheers from the crowd here at Citizens Bank. More groans because they see the same thing we see.
He beats it. Not by a bunch, but he beats it. And there's another look from low 3rd that you see here that I think even shows it a little bit more. So the Giants have a chance of winning this one.
Well, this shouldn't take very long. As a matter of fact, I would think within the next 10 seconds you're going to get a ruling.
Well, hey, we're closer to New York than San Francisco.
Come on. I'm saying if you can make the call on the replay on the big board and you can make it clear, well, then it's going to be a very short review.
Yeah, just based on the groan factor here by the Phillies fans. That's all you need if you're an umpire.
Go by the groan factor.
We're
Absolutely.
good. I mean, if the Giants get this call ruled in their favor, I mean, it sets up a big inning. This is a big play. Well, it's close, which explains why we're having the wait here. They're looking at it from a lot of different angles, a lot of different times. And the other thing, too, that they have in New York is they have stop capabilities where they can get the exact time that hand touches and see if the glove did touch the wrist. Mike Winters, the crew chief on the right. Mark Wegner, the plate umpire today, on the left.
I think sometimes when these go really long, and I get that you want to get it right, you're really doing a disservice to the guy on the mound.
Yeah. Well, we saw one review last homestand was over 4 minutes. A Brandon Crawford home run call that eventually did go the Giants' way.
And at some point, you start to hear the fans get a little annoyed. And he's safe.
So the groan factor, once again, very accurate. Call overturned. The Giants maintain their ability to appeal.
Gone are the days where if the ball beats you, you're out.
God's going to get a real healthy lead at third base because of this defensive alignment.
So here's Belt, who singled in the second. Posey reaches on the fielder's choice. The review took 3 hours and 10 minutes.
It just felt like 3 hours and 10 minutes.
3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Hey, it's getaway day. Come on.
1-0 to Belt. And Belt takes low.
That's what we should do when we go to New York. We should go take a look and go see where the umpires actually make the calls from.
They appealed, and Mike Winter said he went around. Yeah, it's on my list. It's in like 9th or 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your checklist of things to do in New York.
Now O'Sullivan can go for the strikeout.
Well, you just saw his best strikeout pitch, and that's that split. It's a good one.
Belt on the ground. They got to hustle to turn it. And it's not in time. And Belt picks up the RBI. That was close.
Well, you know the Phillies are sure they're looking at it. Just didn't hit it quite hard enough. I mean, the Phillies do everything they can to turn it. Marty Foster, the umpire at first base, making the call, and he absolutely nails it.
Tell you, those 16s get on that base quick.
They do.
That's RBI number 26 for Belt. So the Giants do indeed retake the lead, and here's Crawford, who swings and misses. Belt's got one steal on the year. There were a couple of years ago, he was stealing bases left and right.
He's sneaky.
He is sneaky. Hard to be sneaky with the flippers that he's got. Crawford to Howard. Side retired. Giants score a pair. They lead 3-2. strapping young man. 33 starts, 13-11 record. A 3.12 ERA. Here's a good one. 7 complete games, 2 shutouts, 208 innings. And little did we know that we traded for a broadcaster.
Well, as it turned out, it's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Absolutely, for me too.
Nice going, Pards.
Tom Haller had a way of trading for broadcasters. He didn't know it at the time, but...
Well, just think about it. I mean, the broadcasters that came through Mike Murphy's clubhouse in the Tom Haller era, a lot of us out there.
So here's Herrera.
You and me, Danny Gladden, Bob Brinley, Jeff Brantley. I'm not sure if he was the Haller era or the Rosen era. Jeff Brantley broadcasting with the Cincinnati Reds.
Hit well into right center field, and I doubt this one's coming back. It is gone. Herrera hits his second of the year, and this game is tied. So it looks like it's going to be one of those kind of games today.
Well, and you just have to just bear down and get after it again. I mean, Herrera getting a fastball middle in and hits it like he knows it's
well
coming.
into right center field.
And that was a big boy home run.
So here's Utley. Utley popped out in the first. Overshift is on for Utley, and he sees a breaking ball.
Mark Grant, another broadcaster off that group. I keep thinking I'm missing somebody.
And a strike to Utley right at the belt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Howard to follow, and then Franco. Hit to left. Utley retired. With John Miller returning on Tuesday in New York, Dave Fleming will be in for innings 4, 5, and 6. And we'll head over to the KNBR side. Here's Howard.
Joe Morgan was on that team, one of Haller's teams, and he's a broadcaster. Had a great career. Watch the head of Chase Utley. He's been pulling off the ball, and he really wants to stay on the ball. And look at how long he stays with his head down to try and resolve this problem that he's been having. He did the same thing in his first at bat. Really a great job of keeping his head down.
Line to left. Aoki back, and it's off the very top of the wall. And Howard is going to cruise into second base. He's 2 for 2.
And he almost knocked it out of here. I think he hit that off the end of the bat. Just how strong is this guy? Well, it's hard to explain. Now the ball is carrying, and it is a small ballpark, a very offensive ballpark, but still, I don't care. I mean, it's just a testimony there of strength. He could have broken the bat.
He could have. Here's Maikel Franco, who doubled. He saw 1 pitch in the second and hit it past Duffy. Vogelsong knows how eager Franco is to hit. Maybe he tried to freeze him just a little bit.
Not a bad idea.
First pitch is a strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. This time on the outside corner. 0-2.
Well, he's painting the strike zone right now. If you ran up there and placed him in Buster Posey's glove, you couldn't put him in a better place than he just put him. Nice 1-2 punch.
Outside. 1-2. Kobayashi on deck. Down low. 2-2.
Pretty easy takes for an aggressive hitter who likes to swing the bat. You want to make him a little more inviting.
Two balls, two strikes, one out. Howard at second. Belt is in foul territory, shading his eyes, and he'll make the catch. And here's Kobayashi. Ashe dumped a single into left field to knock in a pair of runs in the second. And the first pitch down low with Freddie Galvis on deck. A 3-3 game here in the third. 9 hits of the game. 4 for the Giants, 5 for the Phillies. Cued off the end of the bat to Crawford. Crawford now has to hurry, and that'll end the inning. So the home run ties the game. We will head to the fourth. Dave Fleming will be in. I'll see you back here in the seventh. It's 3-3.
Giants fans, it's the Father's Day gift pack starting as low as $49. The gift pack will include 2 tickets to 2 Giants games and world champion cufflinks. 2 ball games plus the cufflinks, a perfect gift for the old man. For more information, go to Father's Day pack options. Go to sfgiants.com/mini-pack. It is 3-3. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Here to tell you all about it, Dave Fleming. Welcome.
Giants gave me some of those cufflinks.
They're nice.
They are nice. They're really nice.
You actually will wear them and be proud of them.
Matt Duffy flares one to right field on the first pitch of this fourth inning, and that is out number one. John wore him to the White House.
Well, there you go.
So if you think these aren't a good gift item, they were worn to the White House by our partner John Miller.
I'm definitely going to wear them. They're very cool.
Here's Blanco. Day for offense in Philly.
Well, you kind of say that a lot here, but it does seem that left field is extremely live, much more than right field, which is usually the live side of the yard.
Blanco showed like he might bunt. Take strike one.
Not a lot of wind today, and wind is really what can protect one side of the field. We saw it protecting center field yesterday, and when it doesn't blow, as it is, such is the case right now, it is live from foul line to foul line, but especially the left field today.
That is strike two. A changeup to Blanco, up, but called a strike. I thought Posey had one knocked down yesterday. He crushed one to center field.
No question.
That the wind got.
I thought he hit that every bit as hard as the one he hit over the wall in center field the day before.
That's a ball. One thing when you talk to pitchers about this park, the one thing they will say, oh yeah, it's a great place to hit. Home runs scare you, the short porches scare you, but you have that center field. You do have somewhere where it's a little more pitcher friendly, and if you can pitch to that part of the ballpark, you have a better chance of having success. That one not going to get out to center field.
Well, that ball's not carrying anymore, I guess.
Yeah, not quite off the bat of Blanco.
That's the kind of at bat right there where the guy's really mad at himself. He'll come back in the dugout and there'll be like 10 guys laughing at him.
Yeah.
And they'll say, hey, did you get all that one?
Sort of the golf equivalent would be you pop one up off the tee and your playing partner, a nice pitching wedge there. Good one. There's a called strike to Vogelsong.
Yeah, if you took a divot with your driver 8 inches behind the ball, that's the equivalent. It's definitely an at bat you want to forget. But everybody has them.
Yep. It's part of this game. And the forgetting part is a huge part of this game.
But your teammates don't always let you do that.
There's the rub. Vogelsong, strike two swinging. He's had some good swings this year.
He definitely has had a much improved approach in the batter's box than he's had the last couple of years.
2-2. I don't know if there's really any momentum for getting rid of the pitchers hitting, putting the DH in play in the National League. But one bit of ammo that the people who think that should happen use is the offense from pitchers has gone so far down. And we just don't see very many pitchers at all who can hit. And it's a steady decline. If you take all the pitchers and put their hitting numbers, you look back 15, 20 years ago to now, it's a huge difference. And the argument is it's not fun to just see an automatic out. I'm not saying I buy that argument, but that's I think one of the main arguments. Vogelsong, not this time. And the Giants go down in order. On to the bottom of the fourth. Vogelsong back to the mound where he belongs. 3-3 game.
LCS Game 6 when Brian Wilson strikes out Ryan Howard looking for the last out with runners on first and second, and the Giants would win that ball game by a score of 3-2, and they were heading to the World Series. And that's our T-Mobile game changer.
Every time we come here, we think of that.
Oh, how could you not? That was so much fun.
That moment, that series. Every time we have Tom Hallion as an umpire, I think of that moment, because that, I mean, not just Wilson against Howard and Posey in the hug. I think of Hallion's strike 3 call. Burned in the brain.
Well, I mean, Giants had never won a World Series back then.
Oh, those were the old days.
They were getting back after a very disappointing 2002 World Series. And indeed they did redeem themselves and finally at last gave their city a championship flag.
And then another.
And then another.
And then another. Galvis, the shortstop against Vogelsong, bottom third of the order for the Phillies in this last of the fourth, a 3-3 game. A little less on the line than there was at that point back in 2010. But still a chance for the Giants to sweep this series with a win. Enjoy the off day in New York before starting against the Mets. A 3-game set at Citi Field on Tuesday. There's a strike. As good as Vogelsong has been lately, and he's been really, really good. He hasn't been as sharp here today. That one pretty close, but call the ball. It's 3-1.
Well, this should just be a straight challenge right here.
Yep.
Not the kind of guy you want to walk. Base stealer.
Not a lot of power. He's got 1 home run. That one was a challenge, and it's a pop-up. Crawford for the out. Good pitch. So, 1 out. Our Geico quote of the game. Bruce Bochy talking about Jeremy Affeld's birthday. You can't miss that day because you'll hear about it the rest of the year. We have it posted on the wall. Yeah, the manager and Affeld, they have a special relationship, don't they?
Well, they really do, and it's pretty hysterical. A lot of respect for one another, but they do have fun teasing one another. Affeld went out last night to a steakhouse here in downtown Philly, and he had everything on the menu.
Happy birthday to me. I'll have all of that. Rupp, foul ball. We go to these functions where fans get to ask questions. Sometimes Affeld will be asked, who was your favorite player growing up? Who did you really admire? And Affeld's standard answer is Bruce Bochy, man. He was my favorite player. I love that guy.
It always gets a good chuckle.
That is strike 2 called.
But, hey, marketing genius right there.
Yep.
If you're Affeld, oh, it's my skipper. Are you kidding me? Affeld stretching it out.
Looked like the cutter in the dirt from Vogelsong. If you're a reliever on a normal day, okay, not a starter in the first inning getting walloped or whatever, is there a point in the game, innings-wise, where you start to mentally think, okay, now is the point where I could start to get in the game?
Absolutely. Everybody knows what their role is. For example, if this is the 4th inning, if something were to happen and things would start to go weird for Vogelsong, you would see Petit get up and start going. I mean, mentally this is his part of the game. And every inning from here all the way to the end, everybody knows what role they're going to have and when they're going to likely be called. So they'll start stretching out, start getting up, moving around, getting the kinks out. And like Jeremy Affeld, he's 36 years old. It takes him a while to get ready. Some guys will actually go in and take a hot shower in the 5th inning when they are usually the 7th, 8th, or 9th guys, and just get a little bit of a rub, just kind of really get things loosened up.
You could hear Vogelsong yelling at himself after that last pitch. That's a foul ball. It's still 3-2. He was ahead of the count, and It's gone full. So those microphones right down by the field.
Well, they're cool, but they can also reveal a bit too much at times.
Yeah, they can get us in trouble every once in a while. Vogelsong, he kept it clean. Foul tip.
There is one phenomenon that absolutely is amazing. When the ballpark is filled up with people and you get that buzz of a full house, you go out there and scream at the top of your lungs. Nobody's going to hear a word. When you have half the stadium or less, you can hear everything. So, I mean, you really, as a ball player, should be aware of that.
That one is hit to short and kind of a tricky play. Crawford played it nicely and throws out the catcher.
Yeah, that had some weird movement on it. He broke hard to his left, and that ball actually came back. He had to stop, and it was sort of an awkward position he put himself in to stop the ball. Really rocked him back on his heels. But one asset that Crawford has, you know, he has strength in his legs, but he has spring in his legs. And the spring and the strength really is what is the reason for his soft hands.
So 2 outs and the pitcher is up, Sean O'Sullivan.
I always thought that was the strongest asset of Ozzie Smith. I mean, he was like a gymnast playing shortstop. Had tremendous strength in his legs, and there was so much spring in him, but he never seemed to be off balance. He always seemed to be able to harness whatever hop came his way. And the key was the spring and the strength in his legs. And Crawford has that same asset.
I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about it, but just on the spot, best overall athlete on the Giants, I think to me it's Brandon Crawford. That's strike 3 called, and the inning is over.
I think you make a pretty good point.
He's got a case. Top of the order coming up. 3-3 game. That off day tomorrow in New York. The series begins on Tuesday. Last part of this road trip before the Giants come back home. We've got all 3 telecasts on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. 3:30 start time for all 3. No day game getaway in New York before the Giants head back home. Complete pre and post game coverage with Alex Pavlovich at CSNBayArea.com. Home of the authentic Giants fan, Comcast Sportsnet. So just a glimpse of the upcoming schedule. Giants trying to sweep the Phillies here today. As this game goes to the 5th, Dave Fleming, Mike Krukow with you. 3-3 game, and the top of the order coming up now for the 3rd time through against Sean O'Sullivan.
So, best athlete on the team.
Yeah.
Interesting. As we went to break, Crawford, it's a pretty good argument right there. Hunter Pence, combination speed and power. He doesn't look necessarily graceful doing a lot of things, but he's a great athlete. Angel Pagan, I mean, he's a switch hitter.
Yep.
Fast, powerful.
You could make a case for Buster. Posey played 9 positions in one game in college. He was an All-American shortstop, made the conversion to catcher. He's not the speed explosion athlete maybe that some of those other guys are, but
Justin Maxwell.
Yeah.
Looks like he could be a first-round pick in 3 sports.
Anyway, but I think if you still force me to, I think I'm with Brandon Crawford.
He makes such a great argument.
But your comment about his base, the power in his legs, his flexibility, that got me thinking about it. Aoki rips that one to right, but it's hanging. Revere, and he couldn't catch it. Good effort, but Aoki will have a leadoff single.
I mean, really great athletes combine power, speed, balance, strength. I don't know if anybody can give a better argument than Crawford. Take a look at the replay here. Revere, I thought, he gets a lot of glove on this thing. I mean, he'd tell you, I should have this one. But once the ball comes down in the glove, it didn't look like he had a great hold on it. It makes contact with the ground and it pops out. So O'Sullivan right back in the stretch.
Yeah, and he thought he was going to catch it. O'Sullivan did, so you could tell he was disappointed. Now Panic, who continues to swing the bat well.
Tim Hudson.
Yep.
Another guy who's a great athlete. Could envision him doing other things. Although, if you look at the athletes in this team, how many could play other sports professionally? I would say maybe 2 guys.
Yeah.
That would be Maxwell and Pence. Crawford, I don't know. You can't bet against Crawford.
Crawford was a great high school football player, but was a better baseball prospect.
I think if he'd been born in Canada, he would have been a hockey player. I think he'd have had the athleticism to be able to play another sport. I don't know if he has the size to play football.
Well, that is the thing when you try to make baseball players athletes in other sports. The size becomes more of a factor. Football, basketball.
Bumgarner, he could play another sport.
Yeah, Bumgarner wanted to play football. He loves to tell us about how his high school football coach finally said, "Son, you're going to make a lot of money playing baseball. I just cannot let you get hurt out here. I'd love to have you, but you got to go over the baseball field."
I mean, he's 6'5", 240 now. And I mean, that's without pumping up weights.
We would ask him, okay, in football, what'd you want to play? He goes, defense. Really? I wanted to hit somebody. All I wanted to do was hit somebody.
I can absolutely see that. We asked him one day, would you like somebody to charge you someday? He goes, oh, I'll live for that. That'd be great. That'd be good. Yeah, oh, you bet.
Panic. Folded foul a little too quick.
I don't think anybody'd be crazy enough to go out and challenge Bumgarner. He's not a headhunter anyway.
No.
But if they ever did.
There's one guy who might do it someday.
Puig.
Yeah.
Yasiel Puig.
Which the end result of that, it might not be, the Giants and Dodgers might not be happy, but it'd be more entertaining than Pacquiao Mayweather.
Well, yes, indeed, it would. Now I would pay for you for that.
O'Sullivan's paying attention to Aoki, who leads the Giants in steals. Aoki's a good athlete, just not with the size strength combo that you sort of think about in that overall athleticism, but great hand-eye coordination, a lot of speed.
Oh yeah, well, they're all great athletes.
They are. Yes, they are.
I mean, Gene Machi is a great athlete.
Tremendous.
He can do a lot of things.
Before Pablo left, I think he used to be in that argument if you were talking about overall athletes. Ambidextrous, strong.
Speed.
Yeah.
No question. Mike Schmidt, now that's a great athlete.
Yeah.
Perhaps the greatest third baseman that ever played the game. Hall of Famer, 18 years, 548 home runs. Had a chance to play with Mike in 1982. Great guy. And boy, was he. It was beautiful to watch him play baseball. A very stylish player, very smart player, and just oozing with talent.
He's fun to talk to now. He still loves the game, loves to talk about the game.
Well, it's an interesting perspective that you get from him. And he doesn't pull any punches.
He does not. 2-1 the count. O'Sullivan taking some time here, and Panik has another hit. He almost hit Aoki on the way by. That will force Aoki to stop at second, but man, Joe Panik, he is 2 for 3, and so many line drives off that bat these days.
He's heating up for New York.
He is.
His hometown. Another bullet up the right side.
He's got lots of his friends, and we saw a huge gathering of Panik supporters here yesterday at the park, and there'll be even more at Citi Field. Now the Giants can start to think about a big inning. You got 2 on, nobody out, the 3, 4, 5 hitters lined up, and we'll see if maybe the Phillies start to get the bullpen going. Not yet. Pagan, who has a double in 2 at bats, some daring base running, has knocked in a run and scored a run. First pitch to Pagan is low. He's trying to get those left-handed hitters to chase the changeup, and a lot of the Giants lefties have done a good job laying off that pitch.
Well, I think it's his best swing and miss weapon to lefties, but it's more effective down below the strike zone than in the strike zone, which is why he hasn't used that a lot behind in the count.
Pretty good swing by Pagan. Left-handed hitters today against O'Sullivan, 6 for 13. We talked about that before the game, at least we did over on the radio side, where the numbers for lefties against this guy O'Sullivan were robust. So he sort of circled the guys in this lineup to do some damage. Belt, Crawford, and the top 3. And to a large degree, those have been the guys who've done the damage. That's another changeup. It looked like ball 2. Sullivan has really slowed the tempo of this game down. His 2-1. Pagan rips it to right. Revere will catch it. Another line drive. This one is out number 1.
Wind is picked up here in the ballpark. It's blowing straight out to center, and that means that this is really the very first pure offensive wind we've seen in this series. We've seen wind that has helped the ball to left, that has cut balls to center. But right now it is a live wind that will enhance the carry to all fields in this ballpark. The Achilles heel for the Phillies this year has been the starting staff. Collectively, their ERA is 4.66. Their bullpen has been good, 3.26. So your opportunity has been against the starting pitching. And the Giants with an opportunity right now.
With Posey coming up, Posey's 0 for 2. Of course, I think back to Friday where Buster, it's not been a hot streak for Posey. And Posey had 2 at-bats that were very un-Buster-like on Friday to start the game. Went 0 for 2, was off balance, popped out, hit a slow ground ball. Next 2 at-bats, line drive hit and home run over the center field wall. So you think, okay, it's not his day, and then whap. First pitch curve, foul ball.
A little bit of reach in that swing too. Not great balance through the swing. You know, we've been saying that a lot about it during the streak. I mean, he's just still putting up numbers, but he hasn't really been locked in.
Yeah. And maybe that's a sign of a great hitter, where even if things aren't going great, you can still figure out a way to help your team. He hits that one foul. Had a more balanced swing on the fastball, but he's behind at a count 0-2. Phillies want to get a ground ball because Posey, for all the good things that he is as an offensive player, he's certainly a threat to ground to do a double play. The 0-2 pitch. Posey reaches for it. Franco, third one, first double play. Now you got Posey off balance on that curve, and the Giants had 2 on, nobody out, but they do not score. Still 3-3.
Part of the 2015 MLB All-Star Game starting lineup, and the way you do it is go to sfgiants.com/vote, and you can cast your vote through the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. That's sfgiants.com/vote. Be sure to catch all of the excitement of the All-Star Game this year. It's going to be played in Cincinnati, so check that out. July is All-Star month. Go Giants.
Missing San Francisco here in Philly. Those two. Giants have a chance to be well represented in Cincinnati. Want to go through the candidates?
Yes, we do.
Bumgarner's going to be there.
Yep.
I think Santiago Casilla has a chance to be on the All-Star team for the first time.
Yep.
And who knows, maybe another reliever for the Giants, but probably it on the pitching side. But you could make an argument for Posey probably will be there. Crawford's got a great chance to be an All-Star for the first time.
Crawford's going to go.
I think he is. Joe Panik, just on the first half numbers, is playing like the best second baseman in the National League.
He and Crawford could get voted in.
Here's a ball topped very softly to third. Duffy throws out the speedy Revere. Brandon Belt's turned it up so much that Belt has some All-Star credentials. Problem is, I was looking at it the other day. The most loaded position in the major leagues right now is first base in the National League. It's unbelievable how many guys. Adrian Gonzalez and Anthony Rizzo and Joey Votto and more. I mean, a lot more are playing well at that position in the National League.
I'll tell you a guy who's had a great first half, and you never even consider him because he's not a closer. But Javier Lopez has been fantastic.
You're right.
And I think Bruce Bochy, he's going to be in kind of the mode where he's going to reward a couple guys. We don't know who they're going to be, but we'll see who gets voted on or who gets selected by the fans. But I think there's going to be a couple of rewards.
Herrera, who just blasted one his last time up for a long home run, takes ball one from Vogelsong. Well, one thing about Bochy as the manager again this year, he's got a little less of an ability to control who's on the roster than before. They've given the fans, which is good. The fans get a big say.
Fans are going to select who is the starting pitcher. What Bochy gets to do this year, he gets to select the 3 that he thinks are most deserving to be the starting pitcher, and then it goes out there and the fans are going to be able to select which one they'll vote on who is going to be actually the starter. I think that's very cool.
Here's a ball hit foul. We were talking about this guy, the Rule 5 pick, young player. This is what happened last time he was at the plate.
He proved something to Ryan Vogelsong right there that Vogelsong didn't really know, and he likes the ball middle in. And that's right where that ball was. And what's impressive about that swing middle in is he hit it out to center field. He didn't pull it. So they're staying away.
Strike 3 called away. 2 down. Good pitch.
That's one thing that veteran pitchers do not like. They do not like facing hitters they do not know. And when you find out what the guy's hot spot is, it could cost you a run. And it did. Here he stays away. He nails down the outside location. And Herrera's retired. And veteran hitters don't like rookie pitchers they don't know either.
The unknown, the enemy of the baseball player. Here's Utley. Close pitch, called a ball.
That frustrates Vogelsong. Thought he had a strike. Utley has been pulling off the ball all year, really trying to fight leaving that front side shoulder in.
Again, on a fairly quiet day at the yard, you can kind of hear Vogelsong's conversation with himself after some of these misses.
It's the same way on the golf course, I might add.
Yeah. With the big galleries, big tournament, hard to hear a player get mad. A little quieter, pretty easy. Utley to shallow left center. Pagan for the out. So the top of the order goes down in the order, and Ryan Vogelsong has set down 8 in a row. Giants baseball. Log on to CSNBayArea.com. Who isn't? Giants insider Alex Pavlovich provides wire-to-wire reporting of the 2015 season. Breaking news, video, special features, and more only on CSNBayArea.com. Alex is doing a great job his first year in that role.
Well, you can't outwork him. And, he's just got such a low-key approach. He's one of those writers and media guys that get around a team and they entrust him immediately. And he's done a great job.
Brandon Belt leads off here in the 6th, and a curve misses for ball 1.
It used to be that the beat writers used to travel on the planes with him. They would sit up in the front of the plane and whatnot, but they were privileged to see everything that involved the team, not before and after a game, but during the flights and the bus rides. They were right there. That doesn't happen anymore. The beat writers all travel on their own. They like to get the miles.
Yeah, man, those reward programs. Loyalty, that's a baseball beat writer. Into the shift, Belt is retired, 1 away.
But, it used to be, you could say something, and the beat guys, they would let you just sort of digest what you say, and they come back and they would give you another chance to retract it and make sure that's what you wanted to say. Because the emotion of a game, oftentimes guys will say things 15, 20 minutes after a ball game that they may regret 15 or 20 minutes later. I don't know that this generation of player has that ability. I think they're a little more guarded because of how incredible the media is now and how quickly things can get out there.
Well, you guys were telling the story of in the clubhouse before the game today, just to kind of illustrate. Crawford, foul ball for a strike 1. Tim Hudson was talking about his draft experience with a couple of young guys. Susak was one of them around in the clubhouse. Talking about how, well, of course, when I was drafted, there were no cell phones, so we had to wait to get the call at my house. And the young guys were like, wait, what do you mean there were no cell phones?
Really?
How old are you?
But those cell phones, guys will walk in, reporters will walk into a clubhouse and they'll see something and they'll walk out the hallway out of the clubhouse and they're tweeting.
Yeah.
And Twitter allows them to go right out and touch, whoever quickly, and there's no chance to retract. There's no chance to, you know what I just said right there. I didn't really mean that. Those days are gone.
2-1. Crawford to Utley. 2 down.
And I'm not saying that players don't trust writers. They do. You have to. But I do think that they're more guarded in this era because of how quickly things can get out.
Well, and look, the different platforms, a lot of that stuff's been great. There's never been a better time to be a baseball fan. You get access to stuff you never had access to, the technology to watch games, to listen to games from anywhere in the world. All that stuff has been such an incredible positive for baseball fans. Duffy takes ball 1. But I think that is true where players now, it's not just have to be more, they are, period. You don't get quite as much of an insight into these athletes maybe as you used to. Some of them will give you the insight themselves. Some of them, they're on Twitter themselves and they give you a great look into their personality.
Well, at times I think that they are over cautious and they are too guarded because you have to have these guys. And these men and women that write.
Duffy to left center field, and it is a base hit. Herrera did not take a great route. Duffy's going to test him, and he's in there with a double. Good hustle by Matt Duffy. What did Bruce Bochy say to us?
He said, we're going to make that double our forward right choice. That's what he said. And Duffy continues to have a nice series here as he splits the defense right in the left center field gap. Our forward right choice, a 2-out double.
He said, I predict the forward right choice will be Matt Duffy. Well, what he actually said was he had mentioned before the series that he planned to give Casey McGee 1 start here in Philly out of the 3 games. But Matt Duffy's just playing too well. He's making too many things happen. Even yesterday, not just with the bat, with the glove, making good defensive plays. He's got the speed, and here today he's knocked in a run. Now he's got a double. He basically said, look, I just can't take him out. So plans change.
Well, I mean, when McGee got sent down to Sacramento and the job basically publicly became Duffy's at third base, in that time of McGee's absence, he hit 200. Well, since McGee has come back and rejoined the team at the start of this road trip, Duffy has been on fire. Duffy had a home run and a single in the first game. Yesterday he had 2 hits, a single and a double. He was on base 3 times, and here today he's got a double and 3 at-bats. But to get back to that point and finish that conversation, is that players have to realize the importance of media in regards to getting this great game out to people, getting them excited about this game, getting them into seats. I mean, the media is responsible for this, and you have to understand that as a player.
That's a good point. That gives us all the great things that those of us who are lucky enough to be in this world, this baseball world. It's because of those fans and the access they have to the players and the attachment they have to teams. Well, they pitch around with the intentional walk Blanco for the second time in the game. So 2 on, 2 out. And Ryan Vogelsong 0 for 2 as a hitter. Curve for strike 1. The hard-working Elvis Araujo is warming up again. They've used him in each of the first 2 games of the series. He's the only left-hander they have.
He's it.
Vogelsong hit that one pretty hard, but right to the shortstop for the 3rd out. So another hit and a walk. 2 more stranded for the Giants. Middle of the 6th, and this game's still tied at 3.
Authority of the San Francisco Giants. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Back in Philadelphia, bottom of the 6th, a 3-3 game, Giants and the Phillies. And Ryan Vogelsong stays in the game. I am sure that Bruce Bochy was tempted to go to his bench. He had 2 on, 2 out after an intentional walk with the pitcher coming up in a tie game in the top of the 6th inning, but he sticks with Vogelsong. And so Vogelsong against the 4, 5, 6 hitters. This is the part of the order that has hurt him in this game. Howard, Franco, and Ashe. And Ryan Howard in particular, 2 for 2, single, double, has scored a run. The Phillies home run leader. It's a Phillies team that doesn't hit for a lot of power, even hitting in this ballpark.
Well, Ryan Howard is streaky.
Yeah. We've seen some of those streaks before, the hot streaks.
And when he gets it going hot, I mean, there's really not a safe place in the strike zone to pitch him.
Well, you have to go back a few years now, but there was a point where there may not have been a more feared hitter in the game than this guy.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I mean, he was as scary as anybody. Well, in his last at bat, he had an opposite field double off the end of the bat, about 4 feet from going over the wall in left field. Give you an idea of just how strong he is. He hasn't lost any of that.
Outside, ball 2.
So outside, inside, outside, inside. I mean, you pitch him like you would any dangerous hitter. Mix up location, mix up speeds, mix up movements.
This the 70th pitch from Vogelsong, and another ball hit hard by Howard. Pagan, what a play. 1 out.
Oh, hit right on the screws. I didn't know if Pagan was going to have enough time to get to this ball. A little slider that he just jumps on. Another bullet off the bat of Howard. And I'll bet that leather was touching the ground when he winds up making the catch. No, just a little bit above, but a beautiful play nonetheless, and a big out.
Well, I'm with you. Not just the trajectory of the ball, but the direction it was hit. Hard to get a terrific, quick jump on a ball like that from center field, and yet Pagan was able to make the play. Nicely done. Here's Franco, who has doubled and scored a run, 1 for 2. Good 92-mile-an-hour fastball for strike 1.
One more look at the defensive brilliance of Angel Pagan. Little belly slide for style points, and the sunglasses never leave the hat.
With the haircut, though, you don't get quite the stylish flow from the hair on a play like that.
Yeah, he cut his hair, so it's, you know, he's kind of lost some of the lock luster.
Does that disappoint you at all?
No.
You're good with it?
Oh, he could pull off short hair, no doubt.
Well, that is definitely true. I think Giants fans love those moments, though, when the hat flies off and the hair starts blowing all around. I made that catch against Andrew McCutchen last week. I think Giants fans like the hair as much as they like the catch.
I think this guy's got a little flair that surrounds him. Oh, my gosh.
And it'll be, you know, it's always interesting series for him going back to New York. Franco pop up. And that one's back behind the plate, out of play.
Oh, he gears up for New York. You know it. Same thing with Chicago. Places he's played before, but New York especially. But I mean, that's the way you want your middle infielders and your center fielders to be. You want them to be the peacocks on your team, and certainly Pagan, one of those guys. I mean, he's exciting. He's colorful. He's energy. He's 100% energy.
Strike 3 swinging. He got him. That's the 4th strikeout for Vogelsong. Two outs, bases empty for Ashe, who hit a pitch that I'm not sure how he hit it exactly his first time up to knock in 2 runs.
Yeah, ball well below the knees. He kind of served it out to left field.
It's a pretty good swing. Vogelsong using that fastball.
Strike 1. I mean, it's such a different Vogelsong now than what we saw during spring training the first part of this year in April, and then all of a sudden, boom, he got his belief back. And it has made all the difference in the world, especially on strike 1.
Go back over the last month plus. He's been one of the best pitchers in the big leagues. Ball 2. He's got Cody Ashe. When we saw him last year as a young player come up for the first time to Philadelphia, he was the third baseman, young third baseman, maybe third baseman of the future. Well, now they have another one of those. So they have put Franco at third, and they've moved Ashe to left field. Seeing if he can find a home there. 2-2.
Well, let's get a chance.
Yeah.
If you're a young player, man, that's all you can ask for.
One thing, the Phillies hardly played him at all, like one inning of one game in the outfield in spring training. And we were talking to a couple of the people with the Phillies who were sort of thinking in hindsight they could have helped this kid by letting him play a little bit more out there if this was the plan, to have him try this, give him some experience in games that don't count. A lot of pressure he's put on himself to play there because he's not an outfield. He's not played the outfield before now.
Man, it's certainly not an easy transition. Go from the infield to the outfield.
2-2. Strike 3 called. Beauty right at the knees. Kipe will come back over to the television side. The Giants onto the 7th, tied in Philadelphia.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Through 6 full innings, Giants 3 runs on 7 hits, no errors. The Phillies 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors. It has been a pitching duel in a very live ballpark today between Ryan Vogelsong and Sean O'Sullivan. Angel Pagan 1 for 3 with a double. Cody Ashe 1 for 3, 2-run single. And that is our Toyota game summary. Well, new pitcher for the Phillies. A reminder, when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Elvis Araujo, the new pitcher for the Phillies, the only lefty in the bullpen. We've seen him in every game in this series. A hard thrower. You'll see mid-90s with the fastball, hard slider, 2-pitch go get him. It's 3-3, top of the 7th. Here again, Dwayne Kuiper.
All right, Mike, it is Araujo. Not that you would possibly get that wrong, as he throws to Aoki, and it's out of play. When you have as many lefties stacked at the top of the lineup, it's not shockingly that he's pitched in every game. Aoki is 1 for 3. It's this one to left, but it's right at Ashe. 1 out. And here's Panic.
Well, it is rough being the only lefty in a bullpen. Because you know that you're going to get action. It usually means you're going to be in 3 or 4 games a week. But Araujo has not really been a situational lefty. He's been a guy who's been eating up a lot of innings. Threw 27 pitches in his first outing on Friday. It's a lot of work.
Panik takes a strike. Joe Panik today is 2 for 3 with Pagan on deck. And another base hit for Joe Panik. He's just warming up for New York.
He can hit. This is such a great example of a guy that has such a quiet lower body that allows his hands to think for themselves. Plants and just, I mean, let the pitcher supply the power, think back up the middle. It's such a great back control at bat and a good example of the importance of a lower body getting you in a balanced position to use your hands. And that's his strength.
Here's Pagan. And Pagan takes one that almost went to the backstop. Nice play by Rupp. It's 1 ball and no strikes. See Giles now in the bullpen. Giles may be getting loose for Buster Posey. We'll see. One ball and no strikes. And that evens the count. Panik with 3 hits today. He's 3 for 4. In the dirt. Another nice play. You use the lefty in the 7th. That means if you take him out after Pagan, that's it. You have to go with righties the rest of the way. Which Sandberg may be perfectly fine with that. 3-1. And now Pagan can sit on something he likes.
Well, he talked about the 27 pitches that Araujo threw in the first game. He threw 18 yesterday. So this absolutely is going to be his last hitter. And he's still a young guy. I mean, he's a young arm you don't really want to expose to overuse.
Hit down the right field line. A long run for Revere, but it's going to curl into the seats. So now it's 3-2 to Angel Pagan.
The Phillies do not get an off day tomorrow like the Giants do. The Giants an off day, then finish up the last 3 games of this road trip in New York. The Phillies will get on a plane today and head off to Cincinnati.
Who shut out the Padres today. The 3-2 is not a pitch at all. It's a throw to first.
Johnny Cueto on the hill today for the Reds.
Had a little bit of that game on over on the radio side, and it looked like Chapman came in and closed the door like he can do. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And he walked him, and Araujo thought he had strike 3. And from our vantage point, which is really good for calling balls and strikes, not. It kind of looked like a strike.
Well, they set up really at the middle, and he just reaches back.
No.
And they got a little reach back where he catches it in front of his right shin protector is what took away the pitch. So, as expected, the last pitch of the day for Araujo, and Philly's going to bring in Ken Giles.
So we're going to have a double switch. It's a 3-3 ball game, and we'll be back. Marlins and the Cavaliers. It'll be game 2 of the finals. And the game 2 coverage on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area will begin at 3 o'clock. Warriors NBA Finals Central before every game, post game, and on Sportsnet Central all the way through the playoffs. We'll be watching. It's a 3-3 ball game.
New pitcher now for the Phillies will be the right-hander Ken Giles. And Giles, we saw earlier in the series, hard thrower. They have a bunch of hard throwers coming out of that Phillies bullpen. But with Giles, you're going to see mid to high 90s fastball and a hard slider. 26th time that he's come in. He's been a workhorse, averaging a strikeout an inning. And lefties hitting 171, righties hit 280. Interesting.
Well, here's a righty, Buster Posey. And it's in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. A new baseball. Buster is 0 for 3 this afternoon. Darren Ruff on the double switch goes to left. Ashe is out. Ruff will hit in the 9th spot, and he will hit in the bottom of this inning. Two and 0 to Buster Posey with Belt on deck.
96. Pretty straight, right above the hands, a little high.
Well, Buster now he's got a shot to sit on something that he likes. Little pop-up, shallow right field. Utley out, and Utley's going to make the catch. So that's out number 2. And here's Belt.
First baseman Brandon Belt.
Brandon Belt singled in the 2nd, knocked in a run on the fielder's choice in the 3rd, bounced out in the 6th. He hits a high fly ball to left. Ruff back at the wall, and he makes the catch. Belt sent it to the warning track. Bottom of the 7th coming up.
Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
All right, on the next homestand, the D-backs will be in town, and on Saturday, June 13th, it's a 4:15 start. It's the postseason Heroes bobblehead giveaway. First 40,000 fans are going to receive either Ishikawa Panic or Rafael bobblehead. courtesy of Chevron Extra Mile. Go to sfgiants.com/tickets. So here we are in the bottom of the 7th in a 3-3 ball game. Vogelsong will face Galvis, Rupp, and then Ruff.
Take a look at the swing of the bat. Maybe it got up the bat a little bit. It was loud. We thought off the crack it was going to have a chance to get out of here, especially as live as left field has been today. No. So
the Giants might have a shot if Ruff could have maybe hit the wall before he caught it. Doesn't play a whole lot of left field. But he went back. He made a nice play. He caught it right in the sweet spot. So here in the 7th, Vogelsong. You see his line. He's walked 1. He struck out 5.
And he has retired 11 in a row. The last 11 he's seen.
So here's Galvis. Rupp, and then Ruff.
Doesn't happen very often.
Sounds like an old cartoon we used to watch as kids. There's a curveball for a strike. Galvis has flied out. He's popped out. 0 for 2. And a line drive into right field, a base hit. Galvis was 0 for 31 coming into that at bat. Had I said 0 for 31 before the hit, then it'd been my fault.
It'd been your fault.
So here's Cameron Rupp.
And some activity stirring about in the Giants bullpen.
Rupp has walked and he's bounced out. Here he bunts, and it's in no man's land, and everybody's going to be safe. Wow.
Now it happens when you're on the mound and you see a guy square around. I mean, your tendency, your instinct is to break hard into the first base line if you're the pitcher. And once Vogelsong did that, he basically overran what would have been an opportunity to get this ball had he broke back on the ball. But it's just not in your instinct. As it turned out, it goes right in the Bermuda Triangle and nobody can get there.
So a breather now for Vogelsong with Dave Righetti coming out.
George Cantos, Javier Lopez very quickly get up, and then they're pumping now. I mean, they know it's a red alert. And you have to figure if the Phillies were going to bunt in that situation, they may bunt Ruff. In this situation, runners at first and second, nobody out. I don't even know if Ruff has a bunt on the year. He does not. But the Giants are going to have to respect the fact that he might. We just don't think first basemen are going to be bunters.
Or catchers.
Or catchers.
That are 255. Like Cameron Rupp. So here's Darren Ruff. Ruff started at first base yesterday and went 1 for 3.
So indeed, the Giants are going to respect it with Duffy playing even on the grass at third base.
And he bounces this one to Duffy. Can they turn it? They do.
Should have bunted. Well, a first pitch jam shot goes right up the bat, and Ruff hits a little ground ball. He didn't have a lot of speed. So it was really going to be as to whether or not Rupp could upset and upend Joe Panik at second base. But he could not. And for Joe Panik, a pretty easy turn.
Ben Revere is 0 for 3, and now you got to respect the speed of Revere if you're in the infield.
Well, and great speed with Galvis at third base, so you know, with Revere, he's always a threat to bunt. Even with 2 outs. And for a guy who's still a new third baseman like Duffy, I mean, what's going on through his mind right now?
Well, he's thinking that you are. Look, I'm going to cheat in as much as I can get away with to help out if Revere does decide to bunt. You also don't want to give him too much because he can slap the ball right by you. Outside 1-0. Herrera is on deck. Should Vogelsong want to pitch carefully to Ben Revere? Breaking ball, 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, he's nibbling.
Yes, he is.
Odubel Herrera, the hitter on deck, I mean, he's a left-handed hitter. And he's backed up by a left-handed hitter, Chase Utley.
Well, Francoeur, Ruiz are right-handed hitters on the bench. Should you bring in Javier Lopez? 3-0 to Revere, and there's a strike. 3-1.
And true, if they do pinch hit for Herrera, but I doubt if they pinch hit for Chase Utley. I think that's the way that Bruce Bochy's thinking. If they do indeed walk Herrera, if Vogelsong loses Revere, and he probably would try and set that matchup up because Utley's never done much with Lopez. And so it goes in the mind of a manager as he starts to structure as to who he wants to face in this type of inning.
So there's the walk, which, watching Vogelsong work to Revere, we're not surprised by that at all. And now Bruce Bochy's coming out. Well, Lopez is walking down the steps. Vogelsong is going to give the ball to the skipper when it's time for a change. Think speedy, oil change, and auto service. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. We'll be back. On KMBR tomorrow morning, Mike will talk about the game with Murph and Mack on KMBR 680, the sports leader. So you get to do a show with Murph and Mack from New York City. How about that?
Big Apple.
That's good.
The numbers for Javier Lopez have been very solid. A great first half. Just 10 base runners in 14 2/3. An ERA of 1.23. He's been eating on lefties big time. Righty's not a whole lot better. And we'll see how Bruce Bochy plays this with two left-handers behind Francoeur, Utley and Ryan Howard.
And a strike, and it's 0-1.
A little bit different now. Francoeur's faced Lopez one time. He's got a hit. But Lopez is a different pitcher now in the eye of a right-hander because of a couple of additions he's made to his repertoire of pitches this spring. He's now throwing two-seam fastballs and changeups. And the changeup's been a great pitch for him, especially against righties.
So it doesn't look like Lopez is fooling around too much. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
He's not backing off.
Fair ball down the left field line. Galvez scores. They're going to wave in Ben Revere. He's going to score. And Francoeur into third. That should be a double. And it's 5-3.
Little breaking ball. It slides across the plate, middle end, and Francoeur digs it out. Hooks it right over the top ahead of Matt Duffy. And with 2 outs and great speed on the base paths, an easy score from Revere all the way from first. Play really not that close. And with the throw home, Francoeur goes to third.
So here's Utley. Utley takes a strike. Well, Giants have a little work to do now. Utley is 0 for 3. And he bounces this one off his back foot. It's 0-2. Outside, 1-2.
Take a look at Revere stroking around third base, taking the wide slide. Really not very close. Hand touch.
Utley gone, and that'll end the inning. Damage done. 8th inning coming up. 5-3 Phillies. Get highlights, reaction, and analysis. It's all coming up right after the game. Ben Revere moves from right to center. Francoeur is now in right field. And the hitter will be Crawford. So Crawford and then Duffy. This is the 8th. And a strike to Crawford, who's 1 for 3.
Giles getting extended today. He is the setup for Jonathan Papelbon. And we mentioned this before earlier in the broadcast. If something were to happen later on in the year where Papelbon were to be traded, Giles would assume that responsibility of closer. He's got closer stuff.
No swing. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's Mike Winters down at third. Crawford pops it over by the Giants dugout, and at 20 to 25 rows back, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crawford trying to reach for Duffy and then Blanco. And a full count.
Ooh, that's not an easy take either. Giles slider, I mean, it's a straight down biter, and he wants you to swing at that one that explodes down below the strike zone.
And he got him.
But he could not hold up above the hands with the high mid-90s fastball.
So here's Duffy.
Set up low and away. It goes up and in. Winds up being a great mistake. Did he go? Oh, yeah.
Duffy doubled in the 6th. He's 1 for 3. Fouls it back. Look out. 1 ball and 1 strike. Consistently stays right at that 95 mark.
You know, he doesn't have a lot of movement with a fastball, and I think he's one of those guys who can effectively pitch up high across the letters. I mean, he's a fly ball strikeout guy. Giants would love to get the tying run up here.
We'll take a walk right here.
You bet.
And there's the walk.
So nice at bat. Pretty easy takes, really, when you think about where they missed. Above the strike zone, out away from the strike zone.
Well, here's Blanco. And Blanco's only got 1 home run in the year, but we've known this little guy to have some pop. He's walked twice in this game, and he's popped out. Andrew Susac has come out of the dugout. And a quick toss. Didn't look like Howard was quite ready for 95 over to first. So Giles is ready, and another throw to first, and Duffy's back. I'm not sure why Giles is that concerned about Duffy. And a strike right at the knees.
So many guys have pitched in this ballpark in that Phillies uniform use that outside corner late in the ball game. Ballpark is just so small. You're saying if a guy's going to beat me long, he's going to have to do it the opposite way.
Foul back. So Blanco had a good rip. It's now 0-2.
And I think because of that, as a hitter, you go up there and until you get to 2 strikes, you look for hard stuff away.
Oh, 2 to Gregor Blanco. Got him on a pitch in the dirt. Blanco's out with first base being occupied. So it's going to be up to Andrew Susac.
So Bob McClure, the pitching coach, is going to come out and talk it over with Ken Giles. And this is going to be a scout report meeting. They're going to go over as to how they want to face Susac. If you're wondering as to why Hunter Pitts might not be taking this at bat, he's still recovering from some tendonitis in his wrist. And it was the plan to give him another day off. They said he was available for pinch hitting, but I do believe they want to give him another full day today and tomorrow before they team up Tuesday, hopefully. He took some swings yesterday, or in the batting cage today rather, and said he still felt some discomfort in his wrist. It's his left wrist that has been bothering him. Giants on the bench today, all right-handed.
Susac standing in. And he represents the tying run. And the first pitch is a high breaking ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Swing and a miss. So Susac's going to have to gear it up a little bit. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
I like the swing though. 1-0. He wasn't swinging for singles. He was trying to tie this bad boy up.
One and 2.
So Giles just reaching back and challenging with the fastball.
Low. Susac took it 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So after throwing 2 fastballs by him, he threw a breaking ball in the dirt, which I think's a bit odd.
Two pitch. Here it is. And now full count. So a good take by Susac, and now Duffy will be on the move.
I really don't understand the call. Sliders, and when you just throw 2 fastballs by a guy, you throw him 2 breaking balls.
Bottom. Bottom of the 8th coming up.
Going to that bullpen once again. Reminder when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. It's now Jeremy Affeldt who's going to take the ball from Boots Bochy. 25th time that he has done that. He's 0-2 on the year with a 4.86 ERA. Really has turned his year around, and there was a while his ERA was in the 6s, but he's been whittling that down. Sinker, low 90s, big curveball, and a forkball.
So Affeldt to face Howard, and then Franco, and then the pitcher spot. Giants trying to keep the deficit at 2, so they have a shot in the 9th. And Howard takes down low. Howard is 2 for 3 in this game. Almost 3 for 3. Pagan made a great play to take a hit away from Howard in the 6th. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Affeldt spears it. He will underhand it to Belt.
Just a little simple technique, like underhanding a ball to first base, took away almost what was a phobia at one point in Jeremy Affeldt's career of throwing the ball to first base. Now he gets a comebacker, turns around, runs towards first base, makes a soft little underhand toss. No brainer. 0 stress.
So Franco stands in. Franco is 1 for 3. Tap foul off to Buster Posey. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Jonathan Papelbon, the closer for the Phillies, heating up.
They're going to foul just below us.
Don't you wish you could swing like that one more time?
Yeah.
Just once.
Maybe wished I could have had a nice swing like that when I was a player.
I mean, he lets it fly.
In the dirt, it's 2-2. And a full count. Blanco's on deck. That would be Andres Blanco.
You know, one of the stats you look at when you look at players is how many walks they have. And in 86 at-bats this year, Franco has 4 walks, which means you don't have to throw him strikes. He's going to swing. And I know it's a 3-2 count, but
Pagan looking up. Gone. And it's a 6-3 ball game.
and that's the danger of throwing a guy like that strikes. He's got power. He's not going to make much of a 2-strike adjustment and take swing out. He's going to let it fly. And a fastball middle in, just about knee high. Boom.
So here's Blanco.
And he takes on the deep part of the yard. Clears it easily.
Blanco takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. I think the one thing AFL probably will look back on, and getting into that 3-2 count is probably what hurt him. Tapped slowly to third, foul. So it's a ball and a strike to Blanco. Breaking ball, 2 balls and 1 strike for the Giants in the 9th inning. They'll have the top of the order coming up against Jonathan Papelbon. Two and 2. Foul back. Got a pitch out over the plate. Freddie Galvis is on deck. Into center field. Is it going to die in front of Pagan? It will. So Blanco with a pinch hit single.
Blanco's really had a nice series coming off the bench. Giants have not figured him out.
So here's Galvis. FL will check on Blanco. Galvis picked up a base hit to lead off the 7th, and that started the undoing of Vogelsong and Lopez in that 7th. There's a strike at the knees. Foul back, so it's 0-2.
Good pitch down around the knees. That's where he gets his sink. That's where his ground balls are.
On deck is Cameron Rupp. So the Giants now trail by 3. Got him. 2 outs. And here's Rupp. Rupp hurt the Giants in that 7th inning when he was going to lay down a bunt. Just a sacrifice bunt, and he bunted for a single. So we're going to get a new pitcher here in Philadelphia. It's 6-3 Phillies. Coverage will begin here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area at 3 p.m. Pre and post and Postnet Central coverage. Warriors NBA Finals before every game, post game, and on Sportsnet Central all the way through the playoffs. Phillies lead 6-3, and it's George Cantos.
Take a look at the numbers for George Cantos, who's had a very solid first half. 26 games he's been in, 1-0 with a 1.84 ERA. Righties hit .230. He's been tougher on lefties. And that is really indicative of all the new looks that he has this year. It's never been that way before. Lefties always gave him more problems than righties. Much different pitcher now. And I emphasize the word pitcher. Really learned his trade, and he's having a good season because of it.
Blanco is your base runner at first. And Cantos will check on Blanco. So Cantos ready as he sets right above the belt. Runner goes. It's a pitch out. Posey's throw is on the money, and they got him. And that'll end the inning. Giants are coming up in the 9th. Top of the order. They need 3 to tie.
Honda, and we think that Jeff Francoeur will be that gentleman today. A big swing of the bat as a pinch hitter. 7th inning, he comes up with a double. It knocks in 2. It broke a 3-3 tie. The Phillies would go on to score 2 that inning and give a 5-3 lead. They've since added 1. But that swing of the bat from Jeff Francoeur allows us to say that he is our player of the game. Brought to you by Honda.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Closer Jonathan Papelbon coming into a game for the 24th time. He's been perfect in save opportunities, 11 with 11 opportunities, 1-0 with a 1.17 ERA. You're going to see a fastball that's low to mid-90s. He's got a hard slider and a split, and he can strike out with all 3.
No balls and 1 strike. Panic and then Pagan. Giants need base runners to get that tying run to the plate. One ball and 1 strike on the high fastball. No swing. Out of play.
It's like Papelbon staying up there for a reason. High fastball after high fastball. First saw Papelbon with the Red Sox, and he was a real hard thrower. But he's learned the split, hard slider along the way.
Rolled on the ground. It'll be Howard to Papelbon. Safe. So Aoki hustling all the way.
Papelbon looked like he had his back foot when he was trying to find the bag. May have been stepped on by Aoki. It was going to be a foot race between Papelbon and Aoki. And Papelbon planted his foot.
And he missed it.
And he missed the bag. Then he tried to drag his foot over the top. And that's a great call by first base umpire Marty Foster. He gets it right.
Well, he had a good look at it too, didn't he?
He really did.
So it'll be an error on Papelbon. And that's how it got started. So here's Panic.
They had to give him a hit for that.
Panic has 3 hits today. Aoki goes, and there's a called strike. No stolen base for Aoki.
Well, I still think it's a good play because it takes away the force. If they're not going to defend it, take it.
So now it's a quick 0-2 to Joe Panic. Up the middle. Papelbon will check the runner. 1 out. And here's Pagan. Pagan is 1 for 3. Giants need a couple of more base runners. Actually, one more to get the tying run to the plate. Two more to get the lead run to the plate. Foul back. As Pagan waited nicely.
Yes, he did. He was timed. Papelbon, if you're wondering, has given up 1 home run this year in 23 innings.
Foul back, so it's 0-2. So Papelbon a couple of challenge fastballs. Fouled on the third base line, right between the bag and the coaching box. It remains 0-2.
Just a very easy swing. Let the pitcher put the power behind the pitch. Just trying to fight off whatever stuff he sees, hoping for a mistake. It's one aspect about Pagan as a hitter. As he's evolved, he's really become a pretty good 2-strike defender. Takes a lot of swing out.
In the dirt. Posey watching from close to the on-deck circle. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hit up the middle. It'll be Utley retiring Pagan. On the play, Aoki goes to third. And the tying run is still in the on-deck circle. So here's Posey. Buster today is 0 for 4. And a strike. It's no balls and 1 strike.
It's the first pitch, get it in, breaking ball. Nothing fancy.
Base hit up the middle. So Aoki's going to come in to score, and now the tying run does come up. Right back to where it came from.
Posey gets a high mistake right out over the middle of the plate above the belt. Nice control, back up the middle approach, and there's the reward. So he keeps it alive and allows the tying run to step in against Papelbon.
So Belt stands in with Posey aboard at first. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Now he was looking for it, he got it. A fastball challenge. Round 1 goes to Papelbon.
Posey's going to go, and that's wide. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 balls and a strike. Belt hit a ball well to left field in the 7th. That was caught in front of the wall.
I really thought he had one.
I did too. Not a lot of wind today, not like yesterday. Foul down the left field line and out of play. Papelbon got in on Belt. It's 2-2. Well, there's crowd of a little over 24,000 standing. Belt waiting on the 2-2 pitch. Lines it to left. That's a base hit. So Belt will be held up at third. And now the Giants have runners at the corners. And Crawford's coming up.
It's great at bat when you get down to your last strike and you beat a good pitch and you go the opposite way to do it and you extend the game. And it's just fantastic hitting. Just making the adjustment too. I mean, not going for the home run to tie it up. Realizing you're going to see something nasty, look for it, defend, and keep it alive.
So here's Crawford. Crawford is 1 for 4. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Valley Cap time. Lots of Giants fans standing.
0-2. Well, that's the kind of swing you want to see. And it's 0-2. Belt goes 1-2. And now the tying run, by the way, is at second base, and that should be a stolen base.
It should be a stolen base.
And they do give him a steal. So it's 1-2. And it's fouled out of play.
Ooh, good balance through the swing. Papelbon pulled the string with that split. And Crawford was on it.
A hit here could tie the game.
Ruff does not have a good arm in left. Revere does not have a good arm in center. Francoeur has a great arm in right.
Here's the 1-2. Got him, and that's the ball game. So Papelbon strikes out Crawford, and game 3 in this series goes to the Phillies, but not without a fight. And the Giants end up taking 2 out of 3, but still disappointed because a win today, and they would have swept the Phillies, but it did not happen.
So they'll take a loss into an off day, but they'll also take a series victory on the road into an off day, and it is a game that they will be upset because they missed some opportunity, but still they won the series. It's head to
Final
New York.
score here from Citizens Bank Park. It's the Phillies 6 and the Giants 4. Stay tuned. Eastern's Giants postgame live. That's going to start right now.